Hi, this is Isabel Litzler. Welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to make a quick video on the applicant tracking system because most of you will use them when you apply online. Again, as a disclaimer, I would say I don't particularly encourage people to apply online, especially if they have non-typical profiles and profiles that are not really wanted so much on the Swiss market, because I think that the requirements are quite strict and it's not a system that's actually built to for you to really go through and get the job. It's really there to manage applications from a recruitment perspective. So the odds of you going through the process and being selected are quite narrow. So I just wanted to give you 3 tips today to help you go through the process if you should apply online and you decide to apply online. So the first thing is to understand the Swiss market very well, because the Swiss market is very special in terms of which kind of jobs you can find. It's a small market, so there's only certain professions that are in demand and others are not as wanted because it's based on what the economy needs. So really the first step is to understand the Swiss economy, understand which positions are really in demand, and you can see this on job boards. Really, for me, the 3 main fields of work I see in demand right now. The first one is anything linked to IT, engineering, and tech. So if you're in any of these professions, you will find a lot of jobs, especially for English-speaking professionals. The second one for English-speaking professionals is international development, NGOs. You have a lot of program officers and things like that you can find online. So I would really recommend that you check this out. Number 3 is accounting and tax. So if you're any of these professions I just mentioned, you probably find a few jobs where you can click and apply. But if you're in any of the other jobs, then unfortunately there won't be much out there for you. So therefore the applicant tracking system is really a non-relevant issue for you, because I would recommend that you check out of them completely and you just go entirely for different job search techniques, which I will explain in a different video. But really the applicant tracking system or the online applications, only if you're in those positions that I just mentioned, you can really find some opportunities. So the second thing that you need to understand in terms of who is the applicant tracking system there to serve, it's really an employer tool. So it's built around the employer requirements. It's built to help sort out applications automatically, reply to candidates automatically, organize the interviews automatically. So it's not a tool built to help you. It's a tool that's built to manage applications. So when you go on there and you send your application, just be aware that it's not going to sell you. It's not there to help you sell yourself. So there's a bunch of requirements, some of them being mandatory, others being maybe optional. But in the end, again, if your profile is not set up according to what is in the requirements, you're probably eliminated. No one is going to know, no one is going to want to know who are you, what kind of personality do you have, how motivated are you. The job applicant tracking system is not there to measure that. It's just there to do a yeah or no type of thing. You know, do you speak French? Yes or no? Do you live in Switzerland? Yes or no? So there's no gray area, and it's, as I say, it's elimination based. So basically, you know, if you are not in Switzerland, if you don't speak the local languages, if you don't have Swiss experience, probably most of the time you won't be able to make it to the next stage, because most of the tracking will have that in their selection process, that they only need to keep people who are locals and speak the local languages, etc. So just be aware of that it might be a little bit too stringent to get you through. And finally, number 3 is that you need to understand how the applicant tracking system works really well. I suggest you use a tool called jobscan.co, because you can enter your resume and the job description and see how much of a match you are. So if you make this this comparison and you see you're above 80% match, then maybe it's still worth applying. If you're under 80%, I would say you're probably wasting your time a little bit. So you need to understand really where you stand in terms of market competitivity. You know, are you really completely matching the jobs that you apply for? Are you just sending your application out of the blue, hoping that one day maybe you get lucky, which can happen, but I doubt it. So again, you know, understanding really the difference between a requirement and an option. sometimes people are a bit confused on when it's okay for them to apply and when they shouldn't apply. So it's all about the common sense and using your judgment. Most of the time they will tell you exactly in the job description what is looked for, but sometimes because we don't want to see things and we want to push our luck a little bit, we say, okay, I don't really speak French, or I don't really speak Swiss German, but I'll still apply. In my view, by doing that, you're actually hurting yourself, because you're sending an application, first of all, that may never go through. And even if it does go through, it's recorded. And if you see a job that's actually a better match for you down the line, you will already be someone that's seen as over applying. And it's actually, you're almost like a red flag in their system that you're applying for everything that's online. So just be a little bit aware on how you manage your Swiss application, because you do have to follow a proper protocol. You know, you want to apply to the right companies at the right time, and you don't want to spread yourself thin on the market and then being seen as someone who's just trying to get anything that they can, and you're almost red flagged in all the systems there. So I understand, you know, managing expectations between your dream to come to Switzerland and trying to get as much applications through as possible, and managing also the Swiss requirements where, you know, they want applications fed a certain way, and they're only going to look at you if you present certain things that are wanted in the Swiss market. So you just have to be aware of that. Managing your expectations mean apply for jobs sporadically, only when you match almost 80%, and only if you're really bringing value to that job. But if it's just trying to push an application in the applicant tracking system, in the end, it's probably going to backfire at you, where you're always going to keep getting rejected. It's not good for the morale, and it's not good for your application either, because you're going to be red flagged at the end. So just be careful about those kinds of tools. And I would say, if you don't have an in-demand profile, my recommendation is try to use other job search techniques that will get you a long way and probably better results in the end, because most jobs that are online are not going to be the dream job, or the typical job where you would be happy at. So my question at the end with this video is that, you know, do you have anything that you want to say? Maybe did you have an experience with an applicant tracking system, being positive or negative? I think it'd be interesting for the group to hear about your experience, and I will talk to you soon.